Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there watching right now from California excited that Newsom is out after 2026, because what could possibly be worse than Newsom? Well, I'll show you what could be worse than Newsom.
California could be a consolation prize for Vice President Kamala Harris in 2026.
Yeah, that's right, a Governor Harris. Let's talk about what's going on here. Now, real quick before we get started, one of the biggest drivers on this channel that allows us to reach more people is going to be that subscribe button. When you watch this video and you hit that subscribe button, it lets the system know that you want to see more videos like this, and they end up sharing it with more people, hopefully getting more people on board with this movement and what we're trying to do here, which is maximum liberty and maximum freedom. So if you wouldn't mind, smash that subscribe button. The thumbs up is always appreciated, and that little bell notification will let you know when new videos come out. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So again, the governor of the state of California, Gavin Newsom, is about to be termed out, which in my mind is great news. That means that you're going to have some more choices. There's going to be a new race for governor soon. You're going to see some new faces, new names, and I think that people in California want change. But do they really? Well, a new poll would actually suggest otherwise, and that new poll actually puts Kamala Harris in the lead.
Kamala Harris for California governor. A new poll shows many voters would support her if she did decide to run.
New polling holds up. California could be a consolation prize for Vice President Kamala Harris in 2026.
That new poll asked California Democrats whether they would consider voting for Harris if she ran for governor in 2026.
President Kamala Harris's chances of serving the people of California again, they look favorable.
The poll by the Berkeley Institute of Governmental Studies found that among the potential candidates, former Democratic Congresswoman Katie Porter leads with 13%. Republican Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco is at 12%. Republican State Senator Brian Daly is at 11%. Current Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis is at 7%, and former LA Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa is also at 7%. When asked about Harris, she then jumps to the top, with 33% saying very likely to support her and 13% saying somewhat likely.
Now, when it comes to the California gubernatorial race, there's some people that have already thrown their hat in the ring. There's some people whose names are just being floated out there. This is all sort of hypotheticals at this point. But just based on the names that are out there right now, you can see that the top Democrat is only receiving about 13% of the vote. Now, when you throw Harris into that poll, that number goes up to above 30%. So we're talking about a threefold increase in support for her over the next Democrat that's on that list. There was also some Republicans on that list, and I would love to see for that to happen, but it's really, really difficult, and sometimes I have a hard time holding my breath for stuff like that. But still, if she was in the race, the numbers would grow exponentially. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what's going on with her? She said she's going to run? Well, the answer to that is no. She has not said that she is going to run for governor of the state of California. She has not announced anything as of yet. But according to some other polls and some people who kind of watch what's happening with fundraising, she's not stopped fundraising. As a matter of fact, after her loss, she has continued to fundraise. Now, if you're somebody who just lost the big election, would you continue fundraising, or would you maybe look for a job in the private sector? Maybe, get on the board of some company making a big old salary and just enjoy the rest of your life? Or would you continue to fundraise just because? Now, you might be asking yourself, how could she be any worse than what we have right now? And while I say that it's almost a wash because they both have kind of the same points of view when it comes to the Second Amendment, she is still pretty bad. If you remember, as the district attorney of San Francisco, she said that she would like to see law enforcement go into your home to see how responsible you were being with your firearms.
And just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affairs.
Have you heard from...
And she also signed on to a brief to the Supreme Court in Heller saying that we do not have an individual right to keep and bear arms, and that she believed that that right only belonged to the militia. So we already know where her stance is. We already know what she wants to ban. She wants to basically get rid of everything. This is not new news. We know exactly where she stands, especially since we've seen her on the campaign trail this whole time talking about it. So again, we know what's going on there. So while I say that it's kind of a wash, it is very simply possible that she could actually be worse. Now, like I said before, this is just all based on hypotheticals. Even the poll is based on hypotheticals, basically asking people, if she were to throw her hat in the ring, would you then vote for her? The problem that I find here is how many people said yes. The vast majority of people that were polled said yes, and that is, to me, a very scary thought. And so while I think that a majority of the counties in California would like to see some change, again, you're just hampered by the huge population centers that are the big cities in California. Sacramento, San Francisco, Oakland, you have Los Angeles. You have these huge population centers that really drive everything in California. And so even if a vast majority of that state turned red, which, as a matter of fact, if you take a look at the current map, it did, you would still have a hard time getting somebody that would bring positive change, especially when it comes to the Second Amendment in that state. You'd really have to drive turnout in order for that to happen. I would love to see it happen, and I will push for that to happen, and I will support whoever can make that happen. But at this time right now, we're just still kind of stuck with who's going to do what and when. I am going to keep my eyes peeled on this one, and if there's any announcements, I will bring it to you guys right away, because this is something you're going to want to pay close attention to if she actually does decide to go forward with it, because that would be another 4, at least maybe 8 years again of just absolute crap in California. So I'll let you guys know what happens, and we'll see. Let me know if you guys, have any opinions on it down in the comment section. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.